Whew. Welcome back to another Walking Out Wednesdays with Coach T, and that is me. And here's where I try to give you some words to live by so that as we are all walking out this journey called life, we are getting better at that walk. So in case you guys didn't know, it's a national holiday today, okay? Because this day on August 30th, in a year that I'm just not going to tell you, a future women's empowerment coach was born. Y'all, it's my birthday, okay? It is my birthday. Hanging out in ATL, vacationing with some family and friends. But I definitely wanted to get this installment out to you guys because I want to honor my commitment to Walking Out Wednesdays. I'm hoping that the noise of the street is not going to be too much of a distraction for me to get this information out to you guys. I am thankful to God for another year around the sun, and I'm excited about what He's doing in my life. And I promise you, I declare and decree that this new chapter will be a phenomenal chapter in the ongoing book of Toria Renee. All right, now let's get into this lesson. We're still talking about success costs, and for the past 2 weeks we've been talking about the 5 demands of success. And we kicked it off with a discussion on number 1, willing to sacrifice, our willingness to sacrifice, as well as the concept of fearlessness. Then we followed that up last week with a discussion on discipline and how it can be used as a weapon against distraction. I also gave you my 3 keys to being focused, to staying focused. So I encourage you to go back and watch those previous Walking Out Wednesdays with Coach T so that you can get all caught up, honey, because I want you to get a full understanding, and all by getting understanding. All right, I want you to get a full understanding of the demands of success. So tonight we're finishing up the 3-week series with a 5th and final demand, which is dealing directly with our mindset about failure, how we see failure. I believe we have to learn to see failure in a more positive way. I feel like just the mention of the very word, when we hear the word, we've been programmed to assign or attach these negative feelings and thoughts and emotions to that. And so that word seems to send this torpedo straight into our self-confidence and self-esteem balloon, and it freezes us. I mean, it like it stops us dead in our tracks. It's almost as if it freezes us in time. How we see failure is going to determine the success that we can have, because if we allow it to shut us down in that way, we become stuck. And I got to tell you, there's no success that we're going to have if we don't have any upward mobility. But what if I told you that failure was never meant to create that barrier that completely stops our progress? I can prove that. Proverbs 28:13 says, "Whosoever conceals his transgressions will not prosper, but he who confesses and forsakes them will obtain mercy." What does that really mean, Coach T? Well, let me break down the scripture in key words so you can understand what's going on. Okay, so that word transgression is usually interpreted as sin. But let's take this back to a more natural definition. It also means error, which is simply a mistake. The word confess means to admit or acknowledge a crime. And you say the word crime, it sounds so big, like, oh my God. But a crime at its core is simply a wrongdoing, which again is a mistake. And I want us to get to the habit of thinking that it doesn't always have to warrant this big, huge penalty. The word forsake means to abandon, and that word prosper means to be successful. So we're supposed to, number 1, admit that we made a mistake somewhere in this situation, whatever it is. 2, then we're supposed to make a conscious decision not to do it again, which shouldn't be hard since now you know that it's probably something you shouldn't be doing. Number 3, now we're able to receive grace. We're able to receive mercy so that we can become successful. What if I told you that failure is actually designed to help you become successful? That don't make no sense. Let me show it to you. Proverbs 20:30 says, "Blows that wound cleanse away evil. Strokes make clean the innermost parts." A blow is a hit. And anytime we take a hit, it wounds us. Wounds require special care. They must be cleaned routinely. Why? because it removes infectious cells and particles from the wounded area so that it is able to heal properly. Okay, anything that could potentially harm us can be considered evil. So we have to keep our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our souls clean in order to remain in position to be successful. This is why I have been telling you for the past 2 weeks that success costs. Okay, now I'm in this study of how changing my mindset about failure, and I made a really great discovery, and I want to be able to share it with you, and I want to give it the time that it deserves. Clearly, I need another week, right? So I am officially extending the 3-part series into a 4-part series. So make sure that you tune in next week for another Walk It Out Wednesdays with Coach T, and I am going to share my latest discovery with you about failure and truly wrap up the now 4-part series of success costs. So this has been Walk It Out Wednesdays with Coach T. Remember, I am the Coach T, and just be you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.